Welcome back to another episode of Key Factors Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Jones, and we are still and powerfully sponsored by ReviewMyMortgage.com, the largest index of mortgage programs in the nation. And I wanted to just kind of give you an update on that. So we are now have been live for 30 days and are over 10,000 users. So our concept, our theory, our belief that homebuyers out there are wanting education. And that's predominantly why we continue to provide these podcasts with experts. And today we're actually joined by an expert realtor, one that gets out in the community, one that is well known around San Antonio. But without further ado, I do want to introduce Lucio Bo Vasquez. Lucio,
whatever you want to call me.
What's going on?
Lucio Bo Vasquez. You can call me whatever you want as long as you call me your realtor. Is what I always tell
Amen.
everybody. Born and raised here in San Antonio. Went to Holy Cross High School, A&M San Antonio. So, you know, I'm like grassroots kind of guy. San Antonio is home. Teaching background.
Okay.
I taught up until 2015. Then some other person said, hey, you should be a realtor, man. Be a realtor. I jumped in and...
Had nothing to do with money.
Nothing to do with money. Yeah. I do not like money at all. No. Hey, you know, I'm like every other guy. But yeah, jumped in and I mean, San Antonio, man, I think we're blessed to have the market that we do.
I have to agree with that.
We weather a lot of storms.
Absolutely.
You know, if you know what you're doing, you're going to weather the storm. But
I
yeah,
agree.
You know, so yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, I also brought along my forever co-host, Matthew Stansberry.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? And we're glad to have you, Bo.
Thanks. Yes. Yeah, let's go with Bo. Yeah, stick with Bo.
Let's go
Yeah,
with
that's,
Bo.
that's what my boys call me.
Yeah, tell us this quick story about how you went from Lucio to Bo.
Okay, so my dad's name is Lucio Vasquez Sr.
Okay.
Right? So mom and dad, you know, they mom gets pregnant and they have the baby shower. They're going through
I
it
won't
all.
ask how that
Yeah,
happened.
we want. Yeah. I kind of know the story. You know, after they have a few margaritas.
There you go.
He says, "Hey, we're gonna name him Bo." My mom was in love with Bo from the Dukes of Hazzard. Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So loves Bo. Everybody's like, okay, Bo Vasquez. The day I'm born, my dad just like, no, I think I want him to be a junior. So my mom's like in labor, like what? And this is them telling me. She's like, I literally looked at your dad like, what are you thinking? Like, no, it's Bo. My dad fills out everything with Lucio Vasquez Jr. He goes, it's fine. On paper, he's Lucio Vasquez Jr., but everybody would know him as Bo.
Wow.
And that's it. Yeah. That's where Bo came to be. Yeah.
I got it, but it's nowhere official.
It's nowhere
Only
official.
in quotation.
Only in quotation. It's
And in
only
the heart.
Yeah, it's only Bo knows real estate is what I say.
Well, you do know that what comes after L, right?
What's that?
Bo. Elbow.
Ah, okay.
I was like, dad.
like,
jokes.
what?
That was so lame.
Hey.
Like, sorry.
Dad jokes are good.
But so in this episode, we want to talk about many different things. I mean, from real estate to how you became a realtor. And I believe you're doing some great business. And the listeners that we have, most of them are new to the business. Some are consumers. And I want to give them your journey.
Yeah.
So, Bo, how did you, obviously you went from being an educator to then becoming a realtor. And in my opinion, that's just along the lines of being an educator.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's like when I walked in here, you're like, hey, are you afraid? I'm like, no, I'll put me in front of 1,000 people, man. I mean, I used to run around with, 50 kids in a gym.
Yeah.
Talking to adults is cake.
Yeah,
you know?
true.
So I had a family member who was he's actually in the business, and years ago he said, hey, I think you would be a great realtor. I'm very open-minded, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'll try it one summer. Tried it one summer, and I think I did 9 transactions in the first 3 months.
Okay.
I didn't know what that meant at the time, so August comes around, and they're calling me from my district saying, hey, we need you to come back. You coming back, right? And I said, I think I'm going to try something else.
Right.
I'm going to just try this. I remember everybody was like, what are you doing? Like, no. Like, you're a teacher. Like, it's safe. Don't do that. Realtors fail. And no, here I am,
And what year was this?
This is 2016.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
So-
that was a year when the business was really good. I got in 2012, and it was like a refinance boom, but I truly didn't know much about lending just yet.
Yeah.
I was on the banking side of things, had done auto finance. And then when I got into this industry, it was like, holy cow, let me go after the purchases because everybody's going after refis.
Yeah.
Fast forward, and 2016 is almost when rates dropped again.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty good time for folks. So
Yeah, no, it was.
that was good timing.
Do you remember the rate? I mean,
right
I
around then,
actually
we were
do.
like 4.5%.
Yeah.
And that was unheard of.
yeah. So I remember around then riding 4.5%, 5%, it's like kind of subpar credit kind of thing.
Mhm.
And nobody freaked out.
No.
Everybody was like, cool, I'm approved 5%. I'm like, yeah, let's get your house.
go.
Let's go do this. So it kind of, that throws me off now. And, people get approved and they're like 5.5%. And I'm like, man,
Not that bad.
that's normal.
I actually got into the business around the same time, 2016.
That's right.
Yeah. So, to me, it's normal. This market is a normal market. I enjoy the market right now.
Same here. I mean, one thing that we have been stressing and kind of honing in on and exposing, in my opinion, is those that don't know how to sell by way of education.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of realtors getting out of the business. There's a lot of lenders getting out of the business.
Oh.
And that, to me, is why I love this market. It's the kind of market that separates the real professionals and experts from the ones that just got in this business to make a dime.
Oh, yeah, 100%. No, I agree with that. I mean, all the calls I get now are, hey, my cousin's a realtor, my friend's a realtor, but they've only been doing it for about a year.
Yeah.
With the way things are, we need somebody who's been doing it for a while,
I agree.
Not to kind of like put down realtors who've been doing this, for a year or so, but, they just, people are more comfortable with those who know what it's like to do real estate,
Absolutely.
prior to, 2.5% interest rates,
Exactly.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't think we'll ever see that again.
Yeah. And you, I'll never say never or always, but I believe that you are correct. And the reason for that is we did not see that kind of drop in rates historically.
Yeah.
Therefore, what caused it? The pandemic. And in my opinion, they were held down there for far too long.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of why we're in the mess that we're in today, where rates are higher. They're not out of the realm of it being a way better idea to buy than to rent. But to that topic, and you had mentioned it a moment ago, is I think we as professionals need to continue to stress the importance of the equity, give perspective to the situation, bring their parents into the conversation like we used to back into the day. I know it's tough at times, but this is a situation where you go, hey, parent, what was your interest rate when you bought your first home?
16%, 12%.
Yeah,
Exactly.
18%.
And then you ask the question, how much did you make when you sold the first one?
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, that what started my whole life. I mean,
100%.
It's one of those things that they don't put things into perspective. And I think the younger generation is living day by day versus looking at the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, so I know everybody has mixed feelings about, younger generations and whatnot, but all of the, 21-year-olds that are calling me to buy, it's crazy. I'm getting phone calls from people 21 years old. Hey, I want to buy a house.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're my daughter's age.
Dude, I bought my first house at 21, 22, 21. I don't remember.
Well,
Babe, you can double check.
I'm a millennial, man. So
Me
it's
too.
like, I'll sell them.
How old are you, Bo?
So I just turned 39.
Okay, good deal. Gotcha. Yeah, you are like the very first millennial.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like,
41.
I was like almost Gen X, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you can relate to the older generation and the younger generation.
Yeah.
Just like, I think our generation was the best generation.
I love our generation,
Yeah.
man. But some of us were buying houses. Some of us were buying avocado toast, bro. I mean,
I love it. That's great.
I mean, hey, but yeah, I mean, I was in the, my dad stressed to me the importance of like, hey, don't rent, man. He's like, don't go get that $2,000 nice, beautiful, not knocking the air, La Cantera apartment or something.
Sure.
He's like, go buy the house that's $150,000 down the street.
Yeah.
And live in that.
And I'll give my story real quick. And Matt, you probably have a similar story to this, but haven't cashed out of it yet. My first home was $132,000. My wife and I weren't married at the time, but I was done renting. I rented for one whole year and went, okay, that was a waste of money.
Yeah.
So I went to go see if I can qualify, and they were like, yeah, you can qualify for $140,000. I'm like, really? Okay. But I don't have any money.
Yeah, I don't got any. What am I going to do? I don't got any money.
You just so happen to have a 640 credit score, so we can do USDA.
Oh,
sign me up, whatever
beautiful.
that means
Yeah.
at the time. So my first home that we purchased, $132,000. We paid, got 5% in interest, zero money down. Lived in it for 3 years, and then converted it to our first investment property.
Yeah.
We held on to it for another 4 years and ended up making $80,000 off of it, and not putting a dime into it other than maintenance and whatnot. But I tell that story more and more these days because the concept or perception of the younger generation is wanting that studio apartment look and feel in a $200,000 home.
Yeah.
It's like, can you find it? Sure. But do you understand what sacrifice means?
Yeah.
Or leveraging opportunity.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, I bought my first house at 22 going on 23.
Nice.
Bought it
That's
at 160 and I was just like, holy crap, this is way out of budget. I was only making, I think, $18 an hour,
Mhm.
barely qualified. And then as soon as I did, boom, 2 renters into, it was a 3-bedroom, got 2 renters, which happened to be good friends of mine, rented out, and I paid nothing for my mortgage.
And lived in it.
man.
And lived in it. And I was just like,
That's the way
wow,
to do it. That's the way to do it,
I
man.
fucking did it.
Oh, yeah.
And now he lives in a $800,000 house, still has a roommate,
Yeah.
calls her his wife.
Yeah. Or my 2 dogs. Yeah.
Your 2
you know.
dogs.
But yeah, no. That I still own that same home. I bought it at 160, now worth about 230,000. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, let's go, baby.
Keep it
Somebody's paying that thing down. I'm gonna let it ride a little bit longer. Got another investment property, but I think with now's generation, they're a little bit more inclined to look on the web and figure out that they can buy homes. They have more knowledge behind it.
Oh, yeah. Just watch out what you listen to on TikTok.
I agree 100% with that.
I have a lot
watch
of
out.
people call me that they're like, "Hey, I watch TikTok. I want to do the Burr method."
Yeah.
It's funny.
No, I had a buyer just 2 days ago. You know, he's like, "Hey, I want to buy a house. We got them pre-approved and everything." And he goes, "Hey, are you supposed to be asking them about if they're in pre-foreclosure?" And I'm like, "What, bro? Like, what?" I was like, "I don't know what market you're looking at, man.
Come back here to reality.
Yeah.
Reality.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know what market you're in, but hey, we can get you a good deal right now.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, I think I just bought a house in January.
And that's something that we can probably, congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks.
That's another thing we can probably put to rest for those that are listening. And that's the concept of all these foreclosures are going to start happening.
Oh, man.
Let's go basic concept on this. Lending tightened up a while back, and we're talking 2008 occurred, took about 2009 to kind of settle. Rates dropped in 11. I jumped in the business in 12, but by then they had already had things in place that lending got strict.
Yeah.
And
That's
you had to
covered.
prove everything. There was no stated anything. So that being the case, fast forwarding, everybody's qualified. There is no Nina loans, ninja loans, all this other stuff that I
Yeah.
hear about. I mean, there's older guys in the business, or folks in the business will say, "Man, you'd be retired right now if you were in our heydays." And I'm like, I don't think so, though.
yeah.
I just don't think so. I'm not the type. I got out of the car business because I could not stand ripping people off making good money. And that's truly what it was.
Yeah.
Selling them a warranty. I mean, what is it? Spoiler alert. If you're buying a warranty for a brand new car, you're wasting your money.
You're
At
100%,
the end of the
yeah.
day, if you're buying tire and wheel protection, you're wasting your money.
Oh,
I mean,
man, you got me.
those kind of things. It was hard to sleep at.
You didn't get them on the pink air?
I mean, all of it in the big air. That's awesome. The LoJack.
Yeah.
Loyak. But that was something that it didn't make me feel good at night knowing that, all right, I made 10 grand this month, but those other people have a higher payment because of it.
Yeah.
And I think that the auto industry should be the next thing that they start regulating a little bit more. And that would even things out so that they're actually buying a car and not financing 130, 140% of that car that is going to depreciate like that.
I agree 100%. I mean, they don't ask you for nothing when you buy a car.
Nothing.
You're just like, oh, okay, hey, you're approved. Come on, let's go back.
Nothing.
I have people that apply and they have a car payment that's $1,300, and I'm like, I can't even apply. You can't even buy a $90,000 house. Like,
Right. Good luck living in that car.
I'm like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But back to that concept is I'm not banking on there being a ton of foreclosures. Are there going to be foreclosures? There always will.
Always
be.
will.
Always will be. People have hard times. They don't have the reserves lined up. But the second biggest thing is the equity that people have gained over the years from being a homeowner.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of foreclosing, get with your
Sell it.
agent and sell the sucker.
Exactly.
Get your money and run.
That's the first thing I told him. I said, hey, man, in this market, if somebody's going through hard times, they're just going to sell it.
Yeah,
They're going to sell it. They're going to make some money and they're going to recover.
that's exactly
And
right.
after I told him that, he kind of looked at me like, oh, That makes
That's
sense.
right. I forgot about that concept of equity, you know?
Yeah.
So let's go back to you and your journey as a realtor. So your first year in the business, you started knocking it out of the park pretty quickly. What did you attribute that to?
You know what? I focused on what I knew, and I knew teachers.
I love that.
Do you think you leveraged the teacher aspect into real estate?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because, a lot of times people will call me just kind of saying, hey, I have a realtor right now, but the guy doesn't communicate, doesn't know, guy or girl doesn't know what he's doing. I ask him questions and he says, let me get back to you on that. Me, I think I know most of it. I don't think we ever know it all. Sometimes I feel like Mark does, but
hey, I'm always learning. And there are instances where I am very strong in my opinions.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, just like I tell them, and they know for certain, if I don't know the answer, I will say I don't know.
No.
In addition, I don't know. It's one of those things that people tend to try and sell what they don't know.
Yeah. 100%.
Instead of just going, I don't know, let me find out. There's plenty of resources. Hang tight a moment.
That's why I said yes to this podcast, and I've said no to 10 others.
You're the man.
Because I like you, man.
You're the man.
Okay. So kind of going back, I do leverage, being a teacher. One, I knew a ton of teachers. Teachers, most of the time, they're well organized, great credit. That's what they're taught.
You're right.
Structure. So that's where I kind of like, everybody's like, oh, how did you do it? I'm like, I just knew teachers, man.
Yes.
I knew teachers. I am born and raised in San Antonio, so that does help, knowing everybody. I'm the guy who, if you go to a bar and I'm sitting there and you're sitting by yourself, I'm going to talk to you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's just who I am, 99% of the time, everybody wants to talk back. Sometimes you'll get that one guy who's just kind of like, no, I'm not having it,
He's having a day.
Yeah, he's having a day. And you just kind of know. But yeah, no, I would say that really is what helped me kind of get my jump.
Yeah.
Because it is hard for first-year realtors, Second and third-year realtors, it's hard.
Absolutely. And one thing that I tell the new to the business loan officers is fish where the fish are. Yeah. And what I mean by that is the market has shifted in the sense that your second time, third time buyers, they're only buying because, number one, they have owned a home before, they understand the concept of equity, and two, they probably have to. And what I mean by that is they're either being relocated, it's time to pay off some substantial debt, so they are going to use their current home to do that, leverage, and they don't want to rent again, so they're going to buy something. They'll deal with the higher rates because they understand the concept of refinancing. Yeah. But your first-time home buyers, where are they? They're on social media all day long. They're still teachers. So getting in front of teachers, go to the ponds and put your line where the fish are.
100%.
Don't get the fish finder and totally disregard what it's telling you.
No, I agree. I mean, every Friday I do this. It's called Tacos for Teachers.
Okay.
So, a lot of my friends now are principals, administrators, all that. And they say, hey, I got 200 tacos, can I drop them off on a Friday?
That's awesome.
Cool. Come on in, and I'll see them. And I really I don't teachers in the morning. They do not want to be talked to. I'm going to tell you right now.
I believe that.
We're already we're getting ready for the day.
Chances are they were getting tolotied out the night before.
Yeah. You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's why I love teachers. But yeah, you know what? I mean, I leave some material there for them. And, they always call me and saying, hey, thanks for the tacos. I'm a first-year teacher. I want to buy a house.
That's right.
And I'm like, what are you doing right now? They're like, well, I'm living with mom. And I said, hey, good for you.
Yeah, smart.
Save that money.
You're 21. You're living with mom. Good for you. You're not. The worst thing you can tell me is I just signed a lease on an apartment.
Absolutely.
Then I'm like,
at Lock and Terra.
At Lock and Terra.
Paying $2,500 for a one bed.
Yeah. So yeah. Teachers, man, they're like my bread and butter.
Yeah.
I help everybody, but I really enjoy it just because I'm a teacher. I relate to them. I relate to the struggles with it. I mean, it's hard.
Absolutely.
So
being a teacher and the mindset of being an educator, and I will be honest, I wasn't the best student in school. I was ADD, ADHD like crazy. Obviously, I wasn't being invigorated enough mentally to stay engaged. I did enough to get by, ended up getting a scholarship to play football for a little while. But then once I got into my big boy pants, it was like, holy cow, the key to just about anything is education.
It is.
And that's kind of why we built Review My Mortgage. It's doing fantastic. But in your opinion, what do you use other than going directly for teachers in regards to your demographic, your pool? What are you using as an educator to help these buyers these days?
So
or sellers for that matter.
Sellers, buyers. I mean, I help them both, but really, I mean, for me, it's keeping in contact with my past clients. I keep in contact. I mean, that's one thing I pride myself on doing. I don't let somebody buy a house and then just like, okay, cool,
bye.
Call me in 5 years if you need me. I will I will call them at least 4 times a year, just see how they're doing. I call them on their birthday, all that stuff. Just because when you're buying a house, you're
gaining a friendship.
You're gaining you really
Absolutely.
are. I would say out of all my clients that I've helped, 90% of them are like, I consider them a friend.
Yeah.
I really do. It's not somebody like, okay, cool, you're a sell. No. So keeping in contact with them is really what I do. And just because they depend on us for what does the market look like now
Absolutely.
compared to when I bought.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's night and day, so that's really what I do.
I like that. And a lot of the, I guess the messaging that we're seeing these days has a lot to do with payment, equity, building the equity, leveraging the equity. It's not about right now. It's about the next 3 to 5 years and what can take place. And I think there's plenty of content for folks to choose from, but they choose not to. Everybody still seems to kind of focus just on interest rate or focus just on, I don't know, something other than the concept of building the equity, getting yourself to the next level, next phase of your life, putting on your big boy pants is what I like.
Well, I can tell you this. I have not had in the past, when rates were high, and I say that, I have not had one buyer say, no, I don't want to buy a house after they sat down with a lender.
Right.
As soon as they sit down with a lender, they come out of that meeting, they're like, I should have bought a year ago.
Correct.
I should have bought 5 years ago. I'm
Yes.
like, yes. I've never had anybody say that. And I always tell them, hey, look, if you go in there and you absolutely hate it, I will say, okay, you know what? I was wrong.
Right. And that hesitation in that lapse and understanding, in my opinion, has a lot to do with them watching the media.
Yeah.
The
100%.
stuff that's being put out there that for one reason or another is either intended to you use the word fear-mongering is the word that you use. And I think it's wrong, but I think us as professionals can grab back the expert status within our local market.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you've got a pretty big stage or platform to be able to do that. Do you cross the paths of that? Because I know that you're very involved with the community. I know that you're very involved with Fiesta and things of that nature.
That's my baby.
I mean, let's talk about that for a minute.
So I'm part of a nonprofit called the Ray Fail Consale Organization. Every year we kind of put out, the Ray Fail, King of Fiesta.
There you go.
We like to say we're the people's king.
Yes.
Because, we are the people is what we say.
You are my king.
Yeah. I love it, bro. Yeah. I'll come calling for you when I need some money, Because that's what it is. It's fundraising. And what I love about it is it goes to education. Okay. We give all of our money to scholarships, So, that I've been doing that for about 2019 is when I got in. But I've just always been heavily involved with the organization. Organization and the community, born and raised here. However, I can help anybody who's from San Antonio. Even if you're coming to San Antonio, call me.
Love it. So now one thing that I do notice on your social media is you, I don't know if you do this intentionally or unintentionally, but you do a great job of what I preach, which is kind of the 80-20 and now, in my opinion, 90-10 rule, to where it's 90 to 80% you, personal stuff, trials, tribulations, victories, failures.
Oh,
and
100%.
then, by the way, I do real estate.
Yeah.
And the reason being is people want to do business with those that they know, like, and trust.
Yeah, 100%.
And you do a great job of that. So
my thing is, I tell all my, don't get me wrong. Like I love real estate. I love real estate. Everything that comes with real estate, I've been lucky enough to get, and I'm very grateful for it. But I'm still just the guy who was teaching down the street. That's who I am at the end of the day. Money doesn't define anybody.
Right.
For me, I care about friendships. I care about life experiences. So it's just
makes you personable.
Yeah.
And like I tell our loan officers here, people like to do business with people they like.
Yeah. Oh, 100%, man. It's just, I always joke around. I'm like, I get invited somewhere. I'm like, how many realtors are going to be there? I'm like, oh man.
I never say that, guys. I never say that.
No, don't get me wrong. I've made some really good friends in the industry, but I'm just, I like to be with the people, man. That's who I am. And I always want them to know, like, hey, I'm still Bo or Lucio. Right. You know me by Lucio or you went to school with me.
Sure.
You know me by Bo, like if you met me just like,
as an adult.
As an adult, or as a kid playing sports or whatnot. So I'm all about it. I'm all about just being yourself and don't let anything change you, man. Be who you want to be.
I love that.
That's just the way.
Now,
everybody should
I've
be.
always had a concept or a belief that money is not the root of all evil, like people say.
No.
Money only emphasizes or
amplifies who you are.
amplifies who you currently are. And if you're a dick, you're going to be a even bigger
Man,
dick. If you're a great person, you're going to become a better person.
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of those things. I mean, let's take, and it's very controversial, but Elon Musk, for example.
Yeah.
The man has had money for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
But I guarantee you he was that same man prior to him having money. He was just working his ass off, not making any until he did. And now he's putting it all back into anybody he can and anything that he can to make us better, to give us more, etc.
I like that, man. I've never really like thought of it that way.
Yeah.
You know, it basically projects you who you really are.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
at a grander scale, because now you're kind of like more out there. But yeah, no, I like that.
I'm
going to use that.
By all means, if you stole it from me, you stole it twice.
I stole it from Mark. Yeah.
So the concept is, I've always looked and heard, and this was something, and maybe you can relate to this, Matt, I'm sure you can. At a certain point, you start making better money. Based on your accolades and what you're able to accomplish and all that good stuff. But the people around you tend to, at first, judge. They also turn their back on you. Sometimes they hate for a little while, and then they see that you are consistent in what you're doing, and then they become fans, and then they become students, and then they become friends again.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's almost like in that
circle of
same,
life, man. No,
yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah. Wow.
And I say that because we as experts didn't start off as experts. We went through our bumps. We went through our, like we were talking about earlier, I don't know, but let me find out and get back to you. I bet you the next time you ask me, I'm going to know type concept. Yeah. And it takes those things upon consistency and hard work and studying, being a student of the game to get to where we are. And I would go as far as to say that none of us on this are done.
Oh, no.
You know, I feel like I'm just getting started. I've got a good grasp on everything. I feel like you're in the same place. And it's okay to make good money, especially if you are using it to reinvest, educate, show others how to do those things. And I believe I see that coming from you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I always take my experiences. You know, people ask me, hey, how did you buy your first house?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where did you start? Because some people, I mean, you know, some people are doing the rat race, man. And it's
right.
I mean, most of us
have
gone through it.
Correct.
And
and I will go as far as to say that most, if not some of us, come back to that, unfortunately, because of situations that occur, but at least we know what it took to get back.
Yeah. I mean, that's always the first thing. They're like, how did you save up for the down payment? That's always like usually the big thing.
Sure.
And I say, I didn't.
I didn't.
Me neither.
I didn't. I had, it's like you, I had great credit.
Yep.
And I got approved for a USDA loan. And I bought a house.
You were USDA also?
Yeah, I was
first
USDA
time?
also, yeah. And it was just like, and they're like, oh, I want to do that. And
so was your first house off a Calabria-ish area?
oh, yeah, like out there, yeah. But military 1604,
Yeah,
out
awesome,
there. Yeah, my parents moved out there by SeaWorld back in 95.
I grew up over there.
Wow.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah.
I went to Ed Cody for elementary, and then by that time we moved out of Heritage.
Oh man, Heritage. Yeah.
We were in before it became the new Heritage.
But yeah,
I mean, it was like down to the duck pond, you see needles on the ground.
Yeah. Now, I remember back in the
up.
90s, it was like, oh, nice.
Yeah. And we moved out to not Helotes, but right before you get to Helotes, and that's where I got to go to Stinson and O'Connor all of a sudden. But
I was a private school kid.
You had mentioned that.
Yeah, private school.
I wasn't as lucky, man.
My parents knew. They put me in public school that they were going to be getting phone calls every day. You know, so kind of thing. I always joke with my buddies because my school, and I won't say the name. Just because there was one
you did already.
I kind of did, right? Yeah. They had proxies.
Oh, wow.
So they talk about separating people. It's like proxy 1, proxy 2, proxy 3, proxy 4. And I joke about it now. I'm like, I was proxy 4 and I'm going to put that on my license plate now.
Awesome. That's awesome. Wow. And it comes full circle yet again.
Yeah.
That's cool. So in, I guess, your journey thus far, you've been in the business since 2016. Has it always been an uphill? What are some things that you've had trouble with, have seen hit roadblocks? And the reason why I ask is we've got folks out there that tune in and are, I don't know, maybe they're going through tough times as a realtor. Maybe they're going through tough times as a lender. And it's like, man, what the hell do I do? Do I go back to teaching? Do I go back to waiting? Do I go back to my other sales? You know what I mean?
Contemplated. I really, so, like I said, I got in that summer. I did 9 transactions in 3 months.
Okay.
Winter hits. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Right.
I didn't know who to call. I said, okay, all my teacher friends,
your sphere of influence was done.
Yeah, like, where do I go next? My family's not buying houses. And my mentor at the time, he says, just put your head down, keep on going. He goes, the problem is everybody freaks out and they jump out.
Yeah.
And they jump out, and he goes, and they never come back. He goes, the ones that make it, I promise you, they have endured 2 or 3 hard times. He goes, this is your first hard time.
That's right.
And yeah, I mean, spring came and I had pennies left.
Yeah.
And I was still afloat, and, spring buyers kind of come out, and, rates were, kind of good. And yeah, so I weathered the storm. And
right.
that's always the best advice I give first year agents or even second year agents is weather the storm.
Yeah.
There's going to be tons of storms. It's never going to be, oh yeah, I had 17 closings this month, but then the next month you had 1.
Right.
So that and consistency. I would say the biggest. Every day I just get up and I do the same thing every day, Monday through Friday.
That's huge.
I have I go sit at my desk, I have my book. I'm like, okay, today's Wednesday, making all my phone calls, calling all my clients. And then just same thing, consistency, man. I mean, it's like working out.
Yeah.
Which I wish I did more.
Same here.
This
but worked out for the two.
I was going to say, this guy his pec's about to pop me right here.
He is ripped up, man. Shredded.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
So you said a couple of things there. Number one being that it's not a matter of if it happens, it's a matter of when it happens, in the sense that you're going to have tough times being in this line of work. It's like I said, it's not a matter of if, it's when. And when that time happens, the best advice, which I agree with, is to dig your heels in and, hey, get ready. Prepare best you can. But obviously, it is what it is. It's just something that you got to go through. And in order to become an expert or to level yourself up, you've got to understand what that's like to be without, and then the other thing, I don't even know what the other thing was.
Consistency.
Yeah. Consistency is something that I preach very heavily, and we're human, so it's hard for us to be consistent with anything.
Yeah.
If you can be consistent with something for 30 days, then you fall off, hey, that's 30 days longer than many other people. Find what it takes to get back on that track, but by all means, that is the key to all of this stuff, mindset, consistency. But there was one other thing that you mentioned that I don't know if the folks caught this, but you still do the basics.
Oh,
and that's huge. I'm preaching that every single day. We're going back to open houses. We're going back to everybody gets a Zoom call. We're going back to the basics of the thing, because that's where the fish are.
And the basics are what got us here.
Got you there.
So for me, I'm like, I will never abandon the basics. I like what you said. It's not when it happens. Not if it's going to happen, when it happens. It's
right.
like, I never will forget. I had a buddy. I used to ride motorcycles in my 20s.
Holy cow!
Everybody's like, you're going to fall one day, and I'm like, the hell I am? I ain't gonna fall, bro. Like, you're crazy.
Didn't you know I'm Bo?
I was like, did you know? I'm like, I don't fall. I'm not gonna fall. He's like, you're going to fall one day.
Wow.
And I fell one day, and thank God I was only going like 20.
Yes, thank God. Absolutely. I
was only going 20 miles an hour in the neighborhood, and I hit something, and it bike fell, and he goes, I told you. So that that's always stuck in my head, and even with real estate, same thing. It's a matter of,
even though that's a real life example, that's a great analogy.
Yeah, it really is. It's the market. It is what the market is. That this is what we know now. This is how we're going to call an expert. We're going to handle. We're going to get you through it. And next year there's going to be another pro, another con.
That's right.
Next year,
another perspective of that I tell buyers, it's not a matter of, or it's not if you'll buy, but when you'll buy.
Oh man.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I'm like, everybody can be a buyer, but how hard are you willing to work to get it?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people are going to buy, right out of high school at 20 years old. Some people are going to wait till they're 40. I mean, it is what it is,
That's true.
I like that.
Yep.
So let's shift a little bit and talk about the current market. in the past, let's call it 6 months.
Yeah.
What have you been seeing? Because I know at this point in time in your career, you work with sellers, you work with buyers, maybe you're an intermediary in some situations, but you're constantly putting yourself out there. You're doing business. What are you seeing happening? We talked a little bit about some of those things, but now let's get into it.
So I'm going to go do sellers first. So my sellers, they are like, hey, I know they have bought 1-2 houses already. They don't care about the rate.
Correct.
They're calling me saying, I got 150 grand in equity. I know I'm not going to have the same. They're realistic.
Correct.
So working with sellers right now, it's pretty easy. They're like, yeah, sure. I want to sell. I want to buy them. And I just did the same thing. I sold and bought because it's
no
for
big
them.
deal.
It's like no big deal. The buying side is a little more, hey, I want to buy a house. Interest rates are high. I'm like, who told you that? Well, talking to my mom, talking to my Theo, my Tia, who have been renting for 30 years.
And that's a great freaking point right there. Keep going. We'll come back to
I've been talking to my aunt, uncle, this rates are so high right now. I shouldn't buy. And the prices of homes are, double from when they bought. I'm like, yeah, when did they buy? And they're like 95. I'm like, you're never going to see that. Like, this is what you're dealing with now. If you wait for the potential crash, man, I don't even like saying it anymore because, I mean, I know it's not coming.
Yeah. It's not coming.
It's not coming.
I
confidently
it's not coming.
Yeah.
We live in San Antonio, guys.
And if I'm wrong, bash me on social media.
You won't be wrong. You won't be wrong. And we can talk about that too next.
Yeah. And a lot of these people are waiting themselves out of the current house that they could buy.
100%.
I mean,
it's a good point.
Like you put 1995. How much was the house then? Oh, it was like 90 grand. Now it's worth 180.
Oh yeah.
I was like, housing value in Texas has only gone up.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, even in what, like 8 or 9, 10, I mean, they dropped what? 10%?
Tiny amount, and then it recovered within the first year and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at the little grid or the chart. If you're listening, jump on Google, type in historic home values in Texas. Then go further and go historic home values in San Antonio. If you want something that'll blow your mind, go historic home values in Bernie, Texas. Ooh. Never have they ever gone backwards.
You said the B word.
Ever?
I'm telling you. Is it Born or Bernie?
Bjorn. I'm a Bernie person now.
You are?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, sweet, man. Yeah. And those graphs, they go like this, barely like that, and
then back up. And I don't think that's being used enough.
Yeah.
I truly don't. And to your point about, my tia, my uncle, my this, my that, they said back when this, okay, I challenge you to ask them if they're really owners or if they're paying rent still.
Yeah.
Like, ask them to see their mortgage statement one time. And they'll go, huh?
Yeah. Ask them for that. Then ask them what their rate was when they bought.
That's right.
20 years ago, 30 years ago.
That's exactly right. And interest worked the same way then as it does now, where you're paying most of it up front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I remember my parents bought a house in 95 and my dad's payment was like $1,400, $1,500, and this is 95. And people were like, what are you doing, Lucio? Like, you bought a house for how much?
Right.
And my dad's like, this is what it is, it is what it is, so I credit a lot of what I know about the market because of my dad too, and he just would always tell us, and which I do to my kids too. Well, my daughter, she's old enough. I'm like, buy a house.
Absolutely.
Just buy a house.
You'll figure it out.
At the $1,400 payment, did your dad ever go back to renting?
Oh, never.
No.
Never.
No.
Yeah. Even him, he knows what payments are now, and he goes,
that's okay.
That's okay. That's what it is.
I'm still getting my equity.
Because people are getting paid more now than they were when I was, 30 years ago. So, but yeah, no, really on the buying side is where I'm kind of seeing the pushback. Mm-hmm. But it's like I said, I tell them, sit down with a lender, and I promise you will leave that meeting saying, why didn't I do this last year?
Right.
Because it's a matter of when.
Absolutely.
You're going to buy eventually.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Is kind of what I tell them. I'm like, are you waiting for this historic crash that's not coming? I'm like, you're going to be twiddling your thumbs for a few years, man.
That's very true.
I mean, eternity, in my opinion,
So let's talk about that for a brief moment. Let's go round table on why you believe that there won't be a crash based on your expert opinion, judgment, what have you. Matt, you want to go first?
What would a crash look like?
Define a crash.
Right. What would the crash look like?
Let's define the crash based on the most liberal terms. And what I mean by that is, let's say our values decrease by 10%. And why I use 10% is historically we've increased prior to the pandemic and the astronomical value increases year over year. We were at a 5 to 6% year over year growth. That's just history. So if we went backwards by 10%, in my opinion, I could say, you know what, that was a crash. Because there's not been anything more than that.
That makes sense.
It truly wasn't. So that being the definition of a crash, I still don't think that's going to happen. Other than I will go as far as to say, as Austin may experience something like that, simply because they had a lot of
inflated
people from out of the country. I mean, I've closed a couple of $1 million deals in the last couple of years from people that came from out of the country, Switzerland, working for TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff is in Austin, and they were paying cash for $200,000-$300,000 over the appraised value. I was going, wait a minute, y'all are happy that it only went below value by $200,000? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
I would have said, bye. I'm moving to San Antonio.
Okay, so if I can take over right there, that's why I'm an expert in the San Antonio market.
Yeah.
You know, I tell everybody I don't worry about what's going on in any other state. You know, I worry about my state. I worry about my city.
That's right.
And why I don't think San Antonio is like on the downfall is because we are cheap. Considered, compared to somewhere else. You know, which is why, I mean, I helped a ton of California buyers in the past 3 years.
That's right.
I mean, they would come over in van loads, man.
With equity.
I worked with I was working with a guy at Lennar, and he told me a story. He says, hey, people just pulled up here. There's a van here. It was like 6 families in one van. They all came in and bought a Lennar house cash.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. And I was like, what? How?
I've got a guy I met with yesterday on a Zoom call, and he's moving from California to San Antonio in the next 60 days. Already has his job lined up, the whole 9 yards. He said, my house is under contract. And Mark, I will tell you, I'm getting way more than I probably should for this house. And I went, good for you, bro. Like, awesome. How much are you getting? What's the house? All that good stuff. I'll be netting about $800,000. Like, oh, what the hell? What? How much did y'all put into it? He's like, oh, not much. We were there for like 2 years. I'm like, dude, let's move to California and then move back real quick.
Let's go over there for a little bit, make some money and come back. I mean, that's what was happening.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that concept, had he not known, or at least taken the risk to buy, that wouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah.
So he's coming over here going, all right, I'm going to start looking in the 1 point something millions because I only want a loan amount of like $400,000. I'm like, damn it. Are you sure you want to put that much down?
Hey, let's buy a couple houses.
Right?
Yeah, come on.
Let's show you how to leverage.
So can I ask you, are you all about them putting like a lot of money down? Or like,
I'm all about what's right for the customer.
Okay, good.
And what I mean by that is there's many situations. I will first, for example, yesterday, I started the conversation with, why do you want to put so much down? And his answer was, we're comfortable with a certain payment. I have done the calculations. This should be a pretty accurate, rough estimate on payment. I said, you're absolutely correct. I said, have you considered taking that and leveraging it for something in the future, like maybe buying an investment property at the same time, letting somebody pay that off? Then you basically double your money in about 15 years and you've got a nest egg, etc. He said, I've got a really good job that I'm leaving and I'm going to a really good job. I've got about $500,000 in my retirement account. I really don't want to be a landlord. I said, man, those questions that you've answered that way, I'm done talking to you about that stuff from an investor mindset. Yeah. And I told him, I said, I always bring these questions up when these situations arise because I've got an investor mindset.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to skip over those things because of your job title or anything like that. And he said, no, I appreciate it. I totally considered it. But at the same time, my wife's not working. I want to make sure, hey, that makes sense
Works
to
for
me.
You.
And the only way to get to that payment that you're wanting is to put that much money down if you're going to buy 1.2 million, you know? Yeah. So in other instances, you open up that conversation. And for example, first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
Every first-time home buyer that I sit in front, every first-time home buyer that he sits in front of, we're showing them the concept of buying a duplex, quadruplex, living in one unit and renting out the other so that they can then build their equity or build their wealth day one. And it's like people are going to, absolutely. Yeah. And if they're not open to it, no big deal. Let's get you into the home to get you started on this path. But if they are, we let the realtor know, and the realtor's like, oh, wow, okay, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, no problem. That's why we're here. We're on the finance side to be able to open those doors, ask the right questions that lead us to the path that we can give them their options.
Yeah.
We're not the type to go, okay, FHA loan, FHA. I mean, there's a lot of lenders that's all they know.
Yeah.
I pride myself in knowing many angles of different facets of programs, scenarios, all that good stuff.
What's going to be best for you?
Yeah.
What's best for you?
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, there's some situations to where a buyer has a good chunk of change to put down, but you show them, hey, you put this extra 100,000 down on this, you're going to save yourself probably 150, 200 bucks. Oh, really? That's it? That's it. So if you want, we can do a variation of it where you put half of that, we kill the mortgage insurance up front and show you how much that equity you can now gain or use to leverage with what you have in the bank. Because I'd much rather see you fall on tough times and have money versus falling on tough times, need the money and can't get
Nothing there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you make me want to buy a house again, bro.
Let's go. Let's go.
Another one.
That's awesome.
I'm always online at night looking at houses, like potential like investment properties, and I'm always like, oh, that looks like a good deal.
Is that addicting?
It really is. I mean, it really is. You know, I mean, when I got into the industry, they told me, hey, buy one, you know, of course, have your house, but buy a house a year.
Sure.
You know, as an investment. And that's, you know, kind of what I do.
That's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah.
That is it's what I was able to do back in the past. But my path, once we started flipping houses and investing in things that don't yield you actual dividends or revenue right away, it was like, shit, now my money's over there. I can't grab it.
You just watch it.
Yeah, I mean, we've put so much money and time into Review My Mortgage, into flips and things like that, that you go, I'd love to get back into that concept, but
you got to put it where you're passionate about, you know?
Yeah.
And me, I kind of want to build that long term, you know, I'm playing the long game.
Yes.
You know, hey, some realtors with their commissions, they want to buy houses, some want to buy Gucci belts, you know?
That's exactly so true.
I'm like, I need more doors. How many doors can I get?
Yeah,
that's right.
Mine's like, if I have more than 10, oof,
you're good.
done.
You're good.
That's what my mentor said. Buy one house every year.
Well,
can.
I pride myself, and I'm going out on a limb here, but I pride myself in being a mentor to this gentleman to my right. And he has followed the path that I've laid out and done way better than what I did. If that makes
Which
sense.
is how it should be.
It's one of those
Which is how it
things
should be.
that I look back and I go, man, it is possible. Yes. Was it difficult? I'm sure he had to deal with me being me. But then we get a chance every once in a while to kind of just, the dust settles, all the loan officers are gone. We're sitting here like, man, look where we're at.
That's good.
Look where you're
that's
at.
good. I mean, I think everybody who is successful in this business is a good copycat.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's true.
Nobody in this business just got in and was like, oh, I'm just great at what I do because I'm great.
Nah.
Everybody's a good copycat, you know, and me, I kind of take the blueprints of, you know, a lot of my mentors and, you know, realtors who I look up to and who I still call, say, hey, what about this? Guys who've been doing this 20 years longer than I have. I call them, say, during the pandemic, what do I do?
Yeah.
How do I weather this storm?
That's right.
In my underwear.
In my underwear, yeah. From 2020, I'm sorry. Yeah, March 2020, that's when it all happened. March 2020 to February 2021, I didn't see a single one of my clients.
Wow.
And it was my biggest year ever.
Yeah. I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
You
That was
know,
our
I mean,
biggest year too.
I mean, that was the year that it was
One
me
of
and
them,
you at the office every day because everybody was
We'd look
scared.
at each other from like the
From the
office.
glass.
Like, yo, I'm gonna leave. Do not come out of your office. Okay.
Straight up.
well, what I did was I called, so a lot of like these first year realtors, they weren't, they didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of leveraged, I'm like, I'm going to sit back. Like my phone is ringing off the hook. I'm going to sit back. And I was, letting them show houses for me and they loved it, and me. I'm like, okay, well, I don't have to get out. I'm just going to chill here and drink wine. And
That's awesome.
biggest year ever. I mean, I think everybody had a huge year. that
We
year.
all did.
We all did.
We're just throwing rocks. It's like, boom, I hit another one.
It's true.
I mean, yeah, I would wake up and like Facebook, Instagram, all of it, just text messages and like,
Why do you think that is though?
Well, so I remember when it first hit, everybody was like, "Oh no, the market's going to crash," like everything, and I think rates dropped to like,
they dropped
They're like
pretty
2s,
quick.
3s.
I mean, and I will.
did they go up and then down?
So the economy, our economy, basically crashed.
Yeah.
Within the first week of the pandemic, it was like
Shut
stock
down.
market, everything was like, oh shit. So government stepped in, we saved it, And not we. I'm not part of that.
Don't come at us.
Don't come at me, bro. And then after the what was that called? The whatever,
Like
the
shutdown.
the injection of money.
The
The
stimulus.
stimulus. There you go, yeah.
We're gonna stimulate the economy.
Oh,
And
man.
funny story, Review My Mortgage, the very first version that was built on a WordPress, just my partner and I, we launched it March 2020. We were like, all right, ready to go. Boom, launch. Oh shit. What do you mean there's a pandemic going on? Okay.
really?
And all of a sudden it was like, so people were at home online looking for homes. I don't know where the hell I was going with that, but
Well, that's what I was getting at. I was like, why do you think more people were doing it then? Is because they were sitting at their house just like, all right, I ain't got nothing to do. Man, I'm hanging out with my family way too much. I need a bigger house.
That and it was what was trending.
Yeah.
sure.
And rates are low.
That's true.
And so they kind of, to kind of go to the high rates, low rates kind of thing. Rates are low. I'm like, okay, people are calling me. I'm like, yeah, you want that house? 90 other people do.
Correct.
So I think my first time home buyers were affected the most during that time, just because, hey, rates are super low. So that's why I encourage those first time home buyers now. I tell them that story. And I say, look, do you want to buy a house with a 5.5 and not have to worry about overbidding it? Or do you want to go back to
where we were
3%, 2.5%, and you're gonna pay $50K over?
That's so true.
So that's I tell them that story, and it always kind of
In my opinion, right now is a good time for first time home buyers.
oh,
I agree.
I love it.
Just because you're A paper, you're people that have done this quite a bit, you're investors, they're like, ooh, rates, let's stay back.
Yeah.
And I think with the first time home buyer, it's like, hey, let's leverage this opportunity. Sellers need to sell and you need to buy.
Yeah. Oh, I love this market, man. I mean, to me, this is prime for me.
I just feel as though it's going to take a little bit longer for those first-time home buyers to get out of the last 3-year mentality.
Yeah.
That concept
A
of
crash is not coming.
Yeah, I mean, that concept of you never should have been able to afford a $300,000 home. Like,
Yeah. No,
if you missed out, you missed out. That's it.
Well, it's just like news, man. I mean, you see something and it's like the talk of the town for, a month or two, and then it's like everybody forgets about it. That's essentially what's going to happen. Everybody's going to kind of forget about what the rates are. It's going to become normal.
Yeah.
And I mean, I tell everybody, you got to live somewhere.
Correct.
You have to live somewhere. I mean, some people are fortunate to, have places to live. Some people might still live with mom and dad, whatever your situation is. But you're going to have to rent or you're going to have to buy.
That's right.
So that's why I tell everybody, what are you waiting on? So
I agree. I mean, those in the financial position to do so should seek options. Those that are not in the financial position to do so, you should seek help to get to that position
100%.
to do so. I mean, that should be your number one
don't
priority.
do it by yourself is what I tell everybody.
Absolutely.
I said, hey, call a lender, call another, just call people for knowledge. Hey, I'm struggling right now. How do I come up with a down payment? Where I need to be on my credit.
Right.
Don't try and do it by yourself.
And if you want to try and do it by yourself, go to reviewmymortgage.com.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
Factual.
So that's just kind of what it is. I'm like, call the experts.
I agree
Get
with
hold
that.
of the experts and they'll help you.
Matt, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to kind of like, I guess, piggyback off of that, get with an expert, because there's been so many times where I run into a client that's called and they're like, I've been doing my credit myself. I think I can buy in a year. And I'm like, well, let's fast track that. After looking at this, you just need to pay this, and you can buy next week.
Absolutely.
And they're like, what?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's opening the eyes of many, but it takes a Zoom call, a screen share, a breakdown, and we're not talking 10-minute Zoom call. It could be 30, 45 minutes, but we got all the education we needed to. They absorbed all of it. Like, do you understand? Yes, I do. Fantastic. We can now get off the call. It's going to take that for us to continue to move that needle forward as experts, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got about like 5 more minutes. We're almost at the hour mark.
Right,
I want to talk about something controversial as hell.
Oh, I was going to say, let's answer that crash question.
Didn't we already?
I don't think we did.
Tell me what your answer is.
Huh? Well, no, there's not going to be a crash.
Well, yeah, mine is just because, like I said, San Antonio is, I kind of feel like we're bulletproof, I mean, nobody's really bulletproof, but I feel like we're in a sense we are, just because we're always cheaper than,
Correct.
the Austins. We're cheaper than the Houston, the Dallases, and it's a great town to live in.
Yeah.
So
I feel like the only thing you'd see is like prices do come down, but it's not something unrealistic because there's a crash. It's more so like how y'all mentioned, people were buying houses way overpriced.
Correct.
Now they need to get a little more realistic. With
prices
what that
are
price
coming
is
down
at.
to reality.
Exactly.
Good point.
They're coming down from space to reality.
Yeah.
It's not crashing. This is what I tell
Exactly.
I
everybody.
agree. So my take on this is let's look at the most layman terms from a realtor's perspective. Home buyers, you can double check me on this, but all you got to do is look at days of inventory, months of inventory. If your months of inventory exceeds I think it's the 6-month mark.
Yeah.
Then essentially you've got too much inventory. The market's going to flip to a buyer's market. We're not even close.
No.
So those out there thinking that it's a buyer's market, surprise, no, you're just getting less pushback. There's less people that are willing to bid on homes at the moment, which is an advantage to you. So therefore sellers are willing to give a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're feeling like you're getting a good deal. That's the whole concept.
Yeah.
If you feel like you got a good deal, you got a good deal.
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
whatever it feels like to you,
That's
that's, a good
right.
deal. That's what I tell them. So
That's exactly right. We're not selling candy here, guys. These are homes. They pay dividends. So last couple minutes here, let's talk about something controversial. And the only thing that I've heard thus far that could be controversial that was mentioned is Lennar. And I have no idea. I see the stuff in Shift Talk, but I have a feeling that I'd like to put like
you want a
something
perspective?
and Lennar at the end of the title.
Brought to you by
I
Celsius.
do. Because we don't get to, mind you, from let's say 2014 to about 2018, I was like the top turned down lender in San Antonio. I savemybuilderloan.com. You go there, boom, let's wrap it up and go. Not all lenders are created equal. They're working on a chain. I sit down and talk to you, figure it out, interpretation of guidelines, all of those things. But we haven't lately been able to speak to many builders. We get turn downs from builders very rarely these days.
Yeah.
And even still, they don't give us the incentive. So it's like, okay, if you're being turned down there, let's go to this person that is going to give incentives and get you a good deal.
And the reason I feel like that is, like you said, you had people pulling up by the truckload like, hey, we're going to go buy a car. We're going to go buy a house. And they can turn down people. They had so many people walking through the door that's like, well, if you're not using our lender, you can go take a hike.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, my take on them, I mean, I love them and hate them at the same time. And then that's with every builder. Every builder,
sure.
I have pros and cons about every builder. I mean, there's pros and cons about me. There's pros and cons about everybody,
I agree, but Lennar seems to be the topic of conversation in Shift Talk.
They really
a
are.
lot.
So I will say, during the pandemic, that I work with a good sales counselor. I trust him.
Okay.
I've known him for a while. He's been there. He's one of their longest tenured. He saved me a lot.
Gotcha.
When people were losing 5, 6, 7 offers,
Yeah.
he's like, hey, I got something right now.
And he's a sales counselor.
He's a sales
at Lennar?
counselor, yeah.
Give him a shout out, man.
Yeah, Zach.
Zach.
Yeah, Zach Garcia with Lennar, yeah.
Zach, let's go.
The
bro.
guy saved me when I was like, dude, my buyer just keeps losing. Bring him over here.
That's
and,
awesome.
I am not a fan of, personally of like their lower like priced homes.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, you got to live somewhere, you know? I would rather pay for, I know some people are like, oh, their houses suck. I would rather pay for a house like that than go rent an apartment.
Touche.
100%.
All day long.
100%. I know they have their good stuff too, but yeah, no, I'm just, it's like with everything else, man. You love them, hate them. I can't hate them as much as because my guy took care of me.
I mean, that's why I asked,
took care of
because
me.
you are, in my opinion, a very logical person. You're not the type to pick a side, but you give us that clear vision of what you guys see. So now let's pull Zach out of the picture.
I'll tell you what I don't like. Okay. Because I have both sides to everything. I don't like that I can't use my preferred lenders.
Okay.
I hate, I'm like, my lender worked day in and day out to get them approved.
Sure.
But you're
Credit,
going to
all
put all that stuff, and you're going to like just take them away.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why I they're not my first choice.
Sure.
Just because I can't use my preferred guy who put the work in.
Right.
I get it. It's a business. It is what it is. We lose deals, we get deals from other people. But yeah, I mean, for me, that's my thing is
Sure.
let me use my preferred lender. But for them, it's just kind of, nope.
So do you feel like the chatter that we see in shift talk is justified in because I'll be honest, I don't get a chance to follow it much. I'm more of a what is it? Creator versus consumer. So I'll post stuff and then I'm off.
And I was going to say, what is going on? Because like you said,
I don't know.
I have no
I just see
freaking
Lennar
clue.
come up a lot.
My thing is, if you're going to bark, make sure you have some facts before you
Agree.
bark. And I just feel like a lot of these first year realtors, second year realtors, they don't know.
Right.
Excuse it, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just kind of like, oh, this person's bashing a Lennar.
Let me jump in.
Let me call corporate. And I'm like, dude, no, fix the problem. Fix it instead of just barking and chirping. Fix the problem. Let's find the middle ground because they do have products that some of my clients are like, hey, they come to me and they're like, I want to buy a Lennar.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to tell them, no, don't buy a Lennar. Sure, let's go to Lennar. I know a guy.
So then what I'm hearing is advice to realtors to, instead of being quick to judge, quick to bash, maybe start building a relationship.
Build a relationship and stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane, bro. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to put that back in my truck.
Stay in your lane. Yeah. Quit focusing on the Gucci belts and Little Woodrow's happy hours and stay in your lane.
I love that. Dude, that's probably the greatest advice. That'll be the title right there. Stay in your lane.
Don't worry. Chamagacha will be there. Stay in your lane. Take care of your buyers.
That's epic. That's epic.
I made a joke earlier. I'm like, when I get invited to an event, I'm like, well, how many realtors are going to be there?
It's true. It's true. And in my opinion, and I'm going to go as boldly as to say this on this episode, I tell my loan officers, all of these events that you're going to, these mixers, these happy hours, things like that, if you're going to go, no problem. I'm not going to try and convince you otherwise. But notice one thing. Go to one, go to the next. And if you see the same people there,
yep, 100%.
Stop going.
Yeah.
100%.
Because I promise you, they're not doing business.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
If you're doing business, you don't have time
You
for
don't have
all
time
that
for
fluff,
that.
man. All that's just a fluff to
I'll
me.
buy my own drink.
Yeah, that's all the fluff. I'll buy a 24-ounce can on the way home. When I get home, that's all fluff to me. And that's the best advice I got from the person who got me into the business. He's like, dude, real estate can go sideways really fast. Stay away from all the fluff. Stay away from all the glitz and glamour. Make your money. Help your clients. Take care of them. That's where you'll succeed in this business.
Make your own money. Stay away from the free food and drink.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, this has been a very enlightening episode. We've just got to an hour, and I'm very pleased with what we've talked about today. For sure. Is there anything that either of you want to kind of give to the listeners out there in way of advice, in way of motivation, anything? I mean, by all means, take the mic. Just don't drop it.
For me, it's more of just kind of, tune the noise out there. Tune the noise out. Listen to the professionals. I mean, I that's like I told you, I only took this podcast and said yes to it because I believe in the stuff that you say. I get invited to a lot of podcasts and I'm like, no. But yours, I mean, what you're doing here is great. And this is not an advertisement for Mark, by the way.
No, man, we don't even do business together.
We have not done any business together.
No, it's good people.
But it's just, you know what you're saying. And my advice is tune out the noise. Listen to professionals. Just give the professionals a shot. And if you still don't believe it, then you don't believe it. Yeah. But that's what I would tell them. Just tune the noise out.
I love that.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. I love that.
I was gonna go off of that. That's exactly what I was like. Get with an expert. That's it.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
Yeah.
The think tank has spoken, you guys.
Rates are rates. That's what I say. I say that firmly.
We've got a lot of nuggets that you guys can pick from this episode. We'll have the transcripts and all that jazz ready for you. But I think the biggest thing that I took away from this is it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. 100% you've got to be prepared for the future, for the unforeseen. But is it really unforeseen if we're saying it right now that it's going to happen? And consistency. Consistency seems to be a pretty common theme of all of these episodes here. So hopefully, if you are currently having tough times, not able to get the business that you used to be receiving because it was a little bit easier with lower rates, start adopting the concept of becoming an educator. I think this episode speaks loudly to that concept of education is not only powerful, but it is the key to success in sales, in any other environment. So I'll leave you with that. Education is the key to success, along with your mindset and all the other things that we always talk about. But we will catch you on the next one. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for this.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having me.
See you later, guys.